Configurable Resource Links section of the Authoring tool provides a link to one such system, the Arezzo Composer. After clicking on the Arezzo page, I'll launch, in a simulated fashion, the Arezzo tool. Arezzo is a clinical decision support tool developed by Infomed to enable the design, creation, and execution of clinical guidelines and protocols. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll be showing you how GELLO expressions might be used in Arezzo, which is one of a number of such tools that might be used to author GELLO-encoded guidelines. For the remainder of the demonstration, I'll simply refer to Arezzo as the Guideline Authoring tool. Within the Guideline Authoring tool, the guideline author will first enter the human readable form of the guideline, and then enter the computable interpretable equivalent form. Third, the author enters workflow tasks in the sequence in which they will occur, which is the step that this slide shows. Through a functional link from the Guideline Authoring tool to the GELLO Expression Authoring tool, guideline authors will be able to create new GELLO expressions or retrieve existing GELLO expressions from expression repositories and link them to workflow tasks. Once the link is established and the resulting guideline is published and imported into a clinical environment, both the guideline and the GELLO expressions can be executed simultaneously in order to provide relevant information and clinical decision support at the point of care. The remainder of the demonstration will simulate an electronic prescribing tool with electronic prior authorization capabilities that makes use of GELLO-embedded prior authorization criteria sets. The demonstration presumes that the payer, or PBM, has tailored the clinical guideline just created in the Guideline Authoring tool to fit a particular benefit plan and has made this prior authorization criteria set available to electronic prescribing vendors. We pick up the action at the point of care, where a prescriber has selected a drug, in this case OxyContin, that requires prior authorization in order to be covered by the drug's plan. The prescriber clicks on the PA link to launch the prior authorization tool. Upon launch, the PA tool queries the electronic health record using the embedded GELLO expressions and seeks data that will match the individual criteria. Note that a pain intensity score has been extracted from the clinical record. The patient, though, tells the prescriber that the pain is now a 10, not a 9. The prescriber manually keys in this new information, which will be recorded in the clinical record and will be modified in the PA form. The tool now indicates that this information was manually keyed in, not derived from the electronic health record. The prescriber then confirms the findings, makes a final review, and submits the results to the PBM for processing. The further processing of the prior authorization request and the related messaging is beyond the scope of this demonstration. We're leveraging a number of other open source projects in developing this one. To name just a few, we're using Subversion as our source code repository system for the development environment. MySQL is our relational database. Apache is running as our web server. By taking advantage of existing open source software, we're able to accelerate our development cycle while reducing our total costs. One last thing, we're not trying to say that GELLO is the end-all and be-all solution for healthcare. We've actually tried to stay fairly agnostic about choosing an expression language. GELLO seems to be the best fit, though we know it has limitations. The important thing is to choose one and take it as far as we can. If another more suitable lingua franca becomes available, we can move to that language standard instead. I hope you've enjoyed the tour and see why we're excited about the potential of creating a common approach to clinical queries. All that's left now is for you to join in the fun. For more information on how to get involved, please contact us at info@gello.org or visit our website at www.gello.org. Thanks for listening.
Together we can change the